defense of teenagers is this. I hate you and I wish you could die. I wish you would die, but can you first drive Cheryl and me to the mall? I want to introduce you to some of the richest people in America. And as I talk to you about this a little bit, I want you to think about these people. Not to say, oh wow, look what they're doing. But to say to yourself, oh wow, what could I do? And there are going to be people who have done things that are just going to absolutely blow you away. And there are going to be other people who've done things that just like your next door neighbor does. And again, the intent here is I want to set a framework for you to think about what can you do, what can I do to change the mindset of what richness is all about. The first person I want to introduce you to has started an organization that employs about 45 or so people who speak about 30 different languages. The organization is called Free the Children. So he started this organization. They've built over 500 schools all over the world in places that never had schools before. He works with the United Nations and Oprah's Angel Network. He's been nominated 3 times for a Nobel Peace Prize. He personally met Mother Teresa, Bishop Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela, and just about every other world leader that you and I could name in the time he's been doing this. He's written 2 books, and he and his brother donate all of the speaking fees that they get to help free the children. Now, how old would you guess this guy is? How old? He was 12 when he started. My friend from Canada is absolutely right. His name is Craig Kilberger. He's 24 years old now, just graduated from university less than a year ago. At age 12, he was reading the newspaper. What do kids who are 12 years old look for in the newspaper? The comics. He scanned the front page, but as he was looking for where the comics are, he saw a picture of a little boy who was also 12. And the reason the picture was in the paper is this little boy had been murdered for speaking out against atrocities in the world. Gunned down on a bicycle. Craig picked up the paper, ran to school, and said, "This is not right. What are we going to do about this?" 12 years old kids raised their hand and said, "I will help." And they started an organization, and they started raising money. And Craig convinced his parents, after months of begging, to go over to Southeast Asia. And he backpacked for 3 or 4 months with a chaperone to see firsthand what happens to these children. Came back home, really got into high gear. And now Craig is making a huge difference in the world. And Craig believes this. It takes vision to create change. And that's just as big as if you're trying to rock the world as Craig did with education, or if you're trying to do it in your career. It takes vision to create change. First you see it up here, and then it starts to happen. How big is your vision? How many of you remember where you were on August 29th, 2005? Now, about a year ago, I had the opportunity to go to New Orleans. I was giving a presentation there, and on my way to the presentation, I asked the cab driver to take a detour. I wanted to go see what it was like. Not to go and, well, nothing more than just to experience. I had seen the images as you all had on CNN and television and newspaper and so forth, but I wanted to see firsthand. And I literally felt sick to my stomach as I was driven down Pontchartrain Boulevard and looked out and saw houses that were windows busted and watermark higher than the first floor and streets upon streets upon streets was desolate. Nobody around except a FEMA table here and there. And I asked myself this question, where's the hope in all of this? And then I met these ladies. They're called the Pink Ladies. And they picked up trash to help clean up New Orleans. They, along with countless other volunteers, would go out and they would take an area that would look like this in a couple hours' time with trash bags and rubber gloves. They turned it into something like the previous picture. Or they would go in a lot where some inner city kids might play kickball or stickball or